Habib at MBS Highway for American Dream TV. You know, some of the most widely searched Google terms are housing bubble, inflation, recession, the Fed. We've been talking about all those things. And through the months, we explained to you that inflation was going to be heading lower. Sure enough, exactly on the time we told you with that October data coming out November 10th, it's the exact date that inflation started heading lower. I'm going to give you another one coming up in a minute here. But first, I want to talk to you about what's happened with interest rates on mortgages. Just like we explained, mortgage rates, they follow inflation, not the Fed. See, the Fed's actually hiked rates 1.25 of late, but mortgage rates have come down by more than 1%. And here's why they're going to come down even more. You see, the Fed, while they might still hike rates, what they're actually doing is slowing the economy and continuing to slow inflation. And as inflation slows, so will mortgage rates. You'll continue to see them come down. That's going to be good news for housing. You see, when we talk about what's happening in the mortgage market, they're going to follow exactly what inflation does. And inflation, while it will come down a little bit over the next few months, one of the things holding it up stubbornly is shelter costs. So what are they? That's the cost of renting or something called owner's equivalent rent. The problem with that is there's a big lag. You see, they take the last 12 months data, so as new data comes in, it's getting rid of old data. So it's starting to move in the right direction, but slowly. You see, right now, shelter costs are in real time coming down a little bit. But the way it's looked at in CPI is it is looking like it's moving up. So that CPI, or Consumer Price Index, weighted 40% with shelter, is still a little bit higher than it really should be. So what does this remind me of? A roller coaster. Hey, remember going on a roller coaster and that first big hill? You get up to that first big hill on a roller coaster, and when you reach the top, actually some of that roller coaster, the people in front were heading lower, but the folks in the back, they're still on the way up. That's kind of like the way shelter is in CPI. In real time, it's actually coming down, but the way it's reported in CPI shows as if it's pushing it higher. That's going to last till we get the April data in. When do we get that? I'm going to give you another date. It's May 10th. Circle it on your calendar. That, I believe, gives us another push lower. It's going to be jagged until now and then, maybe drop a little bit inflation, but it'll really start to come down quickly based upon that May 10th data and afterwards, when now shelter helps us and cooperates with overall inflation. So what's that mean for housing? Well, we see mortgage rates heading back down towards that 5% range. And right now, while there is still strong housing, what we're seeing is that many potential buyers, they're hibernating because of higher rates. We get rates down to about that 5% level, and you're going to unleash a lot of buyers on a market that has very tight inventory still. So where's the opportunity in all this? Is the opportunity to wait until everybody's in the market and you start competing for higher prices? Or is the opportunity to get in ahead of it? You tell me.